It's this one.
Yeah, so that one's forward, that one's back.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see you guys. My name is Abbee deConantsesznak, and I'm a CPA. I am the founder of Ornate Accounting, which is a CPA firm that specializes in Web3. And I've worked with MetaDAO now for almost a few long years. No, I'm just kidding. So today we're going to be talking about debits and credits, of course, because I'm an accountant. Just kidding. Trying to lighten the mood here, but we are going to talk about something hopefully a little more fun for y'all, the importance and challenge of accounting in crypto. Okay, who cares about accounting? Oh. I like some of y'all, but I actually meant it in more of a sarcastic sense. So these are a few of the things that people have told me when I talk about accounting and crypto. Raise your hand if you've ever thought one of these things. Okay, thank you, Colin. Yeah, I won't hold it against you, I promise. But people are very skeptical about accounting and crypto, or they just don't want to do it. I'm not sure. But when I talk about crypto accounting, people always tell me, wait a second, isn't the blockchain like accounting? Isn't it a general ledger? Yeah, it is a general ledger, but hopefully I can change some of your minds today as we talk about the importance of accounting. And when I talk about accounting, I mean full accounting and full financial statements. So full financial statements are really the pinnacle of financial data. And the reason that it's the pinnacle of financial data is because it includes more than revenue and expenses. It includes more than just assets and liabilities. It includes cash flow. It includes all of those things. And so it's really the only way to assess a protocol's financial health. Obviously, some of these things are really important, but when you have a accounting or financial statements that you're looking at and you have the color behind why those numbers are on the paper, so you have disclosures and all of those types of things, it really paints the whole picture of the protocol's health. So it's really important to have all of that data rather than fragmented data. Um, in addition, it shows that each protocol is legitimate, right? Which is a really, really important part of what we're doing up here. So you build accountability and trust with token holders because you're saying, I have absolutely nothing to hide. And when you have nothing to hide, you're open to being fully transparent. And a huge tenet of transparency in what we're doing, building business, is the financials. And of course, it attracts capital because it increases investors' confidence in the protocol, and that's a huge deal. And finally, my fourth point is it allows for more effective decisions. So we all are here because we believe in decision markets, and we believe in decision markets as an alternative to unilateral decision making. So normally in an organization, right, you might have a CEO or a COO who is making decisions. And in front of them, they would always have the quarterly financial statements. In fact, they might have last month's financial statements. They might have month-to-date financial statements. And yet we're saying that decision markets are supposed to produce outcomes that are more effective than a CEO, but we're not going to give them the same data. Is that not crazy? In addition, the markets will set the strategy, but accounting exposes the results of those decisions. So it's really the missing piece to say, wait a second, do we need to pivot, or did we make the right decision? Do we need to, in this case, issue a new proposal? And change our strategy accordingly because of the way the financial statements are turning out. Okay, so I'm a CPA, so obviously I'm biased, but this is where I believe that we're headed. I believe that protocols are going to start issuing, or I should say, voluntarily disclosing financial statements. And the reason I think this is because freedom of information and utter complete transparency are tenets of sorry, that's a defense location, and it's really, really. Oh, thank you. Hello. Okay. Of decentralization, and the reason I say voluntary disclosure is because I don't think any of us are here because we believe in a centralized governing authority to tell us what to do, right? So, in order to not have that happen, we have to be good stewards of financial transparency. And that means that we have to be radically transparent. And to be radically transparent, you need full-fledged financial statements issued on at least a quarterly basis, in my opinion. I also think that we're going to see a lot of protocols issuing financial statements that are fully GAAP or IFRS compliant. So for those of you who don't know what GAAP and IFRS are, GAAP is generally accepted accounting principles, and IFRS is international financial reporting standards, and those are adopted by different jurisdictions. And standards exist for the same reason standards exist anywhere else, which is to allow for comparability. And so if you had a protocol who was recognizing revenue when, let's just say, ABC were met, and then you have another protocol who was who was recognizing revenue when D, E, and F were met and they weren't comparable, it really wouldn't mean anything to be looking at two different protocols' financial statements and saying which one of these is actually financially healthy. So standards are really important for comparability. The other thing with both GAAP and IFRS is they require disclosures. So disclosures give the numbers on financial statements color and context. And these are just as important in my mind as the numbers you see on the P&L, on the balance sheet, on the cash flow statement. And finally, I do think that some of the bigger protocols are going to start issuing audited financial statements, not because they're required to, but because they want to. And this is very important because it helps build assurance. So when you have an independent third party coming to you and saying, these financial statements are free of material misstatements, that is a huge win. And users of those financial statements have ultimate confidence in them. So that's what I predict we're going to start seeing in the accounting sphere. So I get it. Accounting is hard. I've heard it all, trust me. But there are real challenges in crypto accounting. So one of the big challenges is the high volume of transactions. So it makes accounting complex and time consuming. In addition, y'all know it's so easy to create a wallet in Solana. And every time a protocol it creates another wallet, it's just one more account to reconcile all the tokens in. It's one more account that needs to be reconciled at the end of the month. And again, that gets time consuming and it can get expensive. Third, I think there's a big gap in technology. I haven't seen a lot of Web3 accounting softwares really yet, and I think we're seeing a big push. 01 Resolved, we heard from them this morning. I think they're doing awesome stuff, and I've met with some other founders who are also building technology for the accounting world in Web3, so it's a very exciting time. And the other thing is with technology is we really haven't seen anyone really bridge the gap between cash basis financial statements, which is essentially what is on the blockchain. So when you spend USDC, you can see the outflow of USDC. In addition, you can see all the inflows, so you can see the revenue. but you're not actually accounting for when revenue is earned and when expenses are incurred. So take, for example, a smart contract audit. You might pay $200K one month, but that doesn't mean you should recognize it in that same month because the smart contract audit might not have been completed in that month. So I think we're going to start seeing some technology bridging that gap, which is a very exciting time in the Web3 space. And of course, because it's time consuming, because it's technically complex and it requires knowledge of GAAP or IFRS and then crypto specific guidance, it can be expensive. And founders are focused on their product. Who can blame them, right? And so I think hopefully some of these challenges are going to be mitigated, but they are what we've been working up against. So what I want to leave y'all with today is that y'all believe in decentralization. That's why we're here. We believe in the power of decentralization. But to quote something super cheesy, with great power comes great responsibility. And in order to move crypto forward, in order to move this industry mainstream, we have to be radically transparent. And a huge, huge portion of radical transparency is financial transparency. It's full-fledged financial statements that people can trust. So y'all are responsible for pushing us forward, and you guys can do it. I believe in you. If you have any questions, you want to nerd out about accounting, feel free to contact me. That is my email. I'll give you my Telegram, and that's my website. And I look forward to pushing the industry forward with all you guys. Thank you so much.